So welcome back to Fundamentals of Entrepreneurship. The last time we spoke about the business model canvas and we looked at 9 key components of the business model canvas. Now these key components are going to be fundamental to what we are doing in this particular session. In this course, everything is built up, and by the time we get to the end of the session, you would have a better appreciation of everything. So this session, we are going to look at writing a business plan. And in terms of writing a business plan, this is a very fundamental thing for everybody so far as entrepreneurship is important. At one point in time or the other, you will have to learn how to write a business plan. So I would encourage you to pay attention to whatever we are going to discuss here, all the things we are going to discuss here, so that you can be able to draw a business plan at the end of this session. And let me also say that so many resources have been made available and so many samples of business plans have been made available to you on Sakai as well as in the session PowerPoint. So once you click those links, they will take you to websites where you can actually learn how to write business plans. This is going to be less than 20 minutes, and so we can't actually look at the details of it. Having said that, there have been so much of an argument with regards to the session that we had in session 5 in terms of the business model canvas and then the business plan. Now, some schools are proposing, and some schools of thought are proposing that, look, let's just forget about business plans and stick to business model canvas. And some are also proposing that let's forget about business model canvas and stick to business plans as entrepreneurs. And there is enough evidence to actually support both schools. A company like Amazon and a company like Apple that was founded by Steve Jobs. And these two companies are probably top of some of the top 20 best companies in the world and valuable brands in the world as we speak today. These two companies started by writing a business plan. So a business plan is absolutely important for everybody to understand. However, there are several companies that did not start by writing a business plan. Nowadays, companies are starting just with a business model canvas. But it's important for us to understand how these two work together. So, at the end of this session, we would expect you to understand the components of a business plan, that you should be able to design a product or a service that actually serves real market needs, that solves a real problem in the market. And at the end of the session as well, we expect you to understand how to actually write a business plan. So, some of you might probably be writing business plans. For others, at the end of this course, you can actually turn it into a business. So essentially, we'll look at what a business plan should look like. And this slide is just a guide to how business plans should look like. Depending on the type of business that you are having, you might not have all the sessions that we're discussing in this particular slide. In fact, let me just dovetail into the whole argument about business model canvas and business plan again. Now that you have your business model canvas, I'm assuming you've worked as a group on the idea that you've had, and you've had a business model canvas. We are now going to work with the business model canvas. We are going to convert it into a business plan. And as we go along with the business plan, you would get a sense that the business plan actually requires that, or there are certain sections of the business plan that suggest that you've actually been running the business for a while. But the business model canvas is usually recommended when you're starting from the scratch. And when you start from the scratch for a period of time, you can now convert your business model canvas into a business plan as you learn along. So that's how we solve the whole argument about the business model canvas versus the business plan. In my opinion, the two are very important for every entrepreneur. So these are the various components of the business plan. The first component of the business plan is the executive summary. Now, the executive summary is very interesting. It's the first component, and yet it is the very last thing that you write about your business. The executive summary, it's much more tailored to whoever your audiences are. So if you're writing an executive summary, you should know who you are writing to. Well, I'll explain that in much more detail when I begin to look at the audiences of a business plan. So in terms of the executive summary should contain key details that will want someone to turn over and actually read your business plan. If your executive summary is not interesting enough, nobody's going to read your business plan. If you have a business plan that is about 100 pages plus, it means that you could have an executive summary that is maybe 2 pages, 3 pages, thereabout. But if your business plan is about 20 pages or 30 pages or 40 pages, 1 page or 1.5 pages or even a half page or 2 pages, it's okay for an executive summary. Executive summary has one goal: to get the person who is reading it to actually get interested in the business plan. If it becomes too long, nobody might probably read it, and nobody might probably read your entire business plan as well. So that is why you need executive summary. The second thing is your business description. So when it comes to the business description segment, you need to tell us about what business it is that you are in, how long you have been in that business. You give us a little bit history about the business, a little bit history about your visions, about your mission, about your goal as a business, about your objective as a business. You need to outline all these things in your business description segment. The next thing that you are going to look at is your marketing segment. And in terms of marketing segment, you need to be able to tell us about the product and service that you are having. How are you going to sell these products and services? How are you going to position these products and services? And you need to do a marketing plan for your business. So in the business plan, the marketing segment has to do with a marketing plan for whatever business that you're having. What are the features of the product or service? What are the advantages of the product or service? Are you going to use a lot of social media to make people hear about your product? Are you going to use traditional media to help people hear about your product? How are you really going to execute on that particular thing? And it's exhibited or is largely elaborated more in the slides as you read along. And then, of course, there are businesses that you need to spend so much money in doing research, design, and development of a particular product. And a lot of the reasons why a lot of businesses in Africa probably don't do very well is that you hear a friend saying that, look, this is a very good business, and you also jump on board, you want to do same. And people say that, okay, is it profitable? Yeah, then of course you want to join and do same. But you need to be able to understand how to research the market, how to design a product. Most of the products that we see on our market are not well designed. We just see someone producing something and we also replicate the same thing. We don't put a lot of emphasis in research. But here we are saying that as a business, you need to spend a lot of time, energy, and money in researching your product, in designing your product, and actually developing your product. And you need to spend a lot of time in writing about that. The next session is your manufacturing or production segment. So even if it's a product or a service, you need to tell us how you are going to go about it. Or if it's a product, or maybe you are producing yam, or you are farming yam, or you are producing drugs in terms of what we use in our hospitals, pharmaceutical drugs, you should be able to tell us how the production process is all about. And if you are offering a service, you should be able to describe how the service is going to be and how customers are going to experience that particular service to us. And then, of course, you need to look at the management section. And the management section is one of the most crucial sections of a business plan. Why? Because oftentimes it's said that people actually put money in the entrepreneurs, they put money in the team before they actually think about the business. So no matter what you have said about the business, you've spoken about your product, you've spoken about your marketing, you've spoken about your manufacturing. Are these human beings the right people for this particular type of business? You need to give us a little bit of profile about these people who are going to execute on this business, and give the investor or give whoever is interested in your business some kind of confidence that these people can actually do what you have spelled out that they are going to do. The next session is looking at the critical risk segment, and here Dr. Boame would usually say, in case something happens, what are you going to do? So these are where you have all the in case scenarios, and you can have plan B, A, plan B, plan C, plan D, and all of that to see how you are going to execute. Because you know what? People are going to disappoint you at the time you least expected. And people think that their business plan is cast in stone. It's not cast in stone. You continue to review the business plan as time goes along. So the critical risk segment, one of the things you need to do is to think, to be proactive, to think about what can happen, what can go wrong in this business. The next thing that you need to also do is that how can I have options to tone down these things if just in case they go wrong. If something goes wrong with your business, how can you tone down the impact on your business? So you need to be able to do that and put all of that under your critical risk segment. We've explained much more in the slide and in the links that we have given to you. The next one is your financial segment. And I bet you most of the people that look at your business plan, the first session that they might go to is to look at your financial segment. One of the mistakes that we have found with a lot of business plans is that the financial segments sometimes are not tally with what the people have said in the rest of the business. So if I look at your financial segment of the business, I should be able to see how much your marketing expenditure is going to be. I should be able to see how much your production expenditure is going to be. I should see how much you are going to pay your management. Everything that you've actually said in your business should mirror in your financials. But so many people write the financials devoid of what they've actually spoken of in the business. And so this is one thing I don't expect to see in your business plans. In your business plans, you'll be able to tell it the financials. So you have to do a profit and loss account. You can do a balance sheet as well. And then often you can do a cash flow statement as well. We recommend that if you have an already existing business, then it's okay to do a 3-year projection, financial projection, to say that, look, the next 3 years this is how it's going to look like, or the next 5 years this is how it's going to look like. If you are starting at a scratch, 1 year might be okay to begin with, but you can also do 2 or 3, that will be okay. So the financials are absolutely important. They tell the whole story. The next session we are going to look at is the milestones segment. And the milestone segment, or the schedule, is where you can actually use a Gantt chart to program or to display how the business is going to look like. So in terms of business plans, a lot of business plans never get executed because nobody's looking at the milestones, nobody's looking at the monitoring, nobody's looking at implementations. You should be able to tell us that, look, in month 1, this is what I look forward to do. In month 2, this is what I'm looking forward to do. In month 3, this is what I'm looking forward to do. Or 5 years from now, this is how we are looking forward to. This is how we are going to implement it. And all these things must be detailed in the business plan. Now, the fact that you have the milestones there does not mean that things may not happen that will change it. But like I said, the business plan is not cast in stone. When it changes, you make those reflections in your business plan as well. The last but not the least section of the business plan that we have outlined here is where you have the appendix, the bibliography, or the exhibits. And these are places that you put pictures, you put extra information. You can actually put the CVs of the people in the management, you can attach it. Now, if you have a contract that you've actually already signed with a certain supplier or with a certain distributor or with a certain market that you want to supply with, and you have a contract signed, attach it. And in the appendix, you need to put down everything that will give you a leverage when someone looks at your business plan. If you have nice pictures about your company or your product or your service, or a nice design, whatever it is that you think can help people to appreciate your business, you need to put it there. So once they look at it, they can be excited about your business. Now, so these are 10 segments that we have said, discussed with you on the outline of the business plan. Now, these are not cast in stone as well. Earlier on, we said that depending on the type of business that you have, some emphasis might be stressed on one point or the other. And indeed, when you come to the business description, some people can have business plans that can actually break them down into maybe 3 parts, making this maybe 12 or 13 or more. So this is just a general template for you to understand what the business plan is. And as the sessions unfold, you would see so many examples of business plans that we have given you. So with regards to the recommended readings, these are the pages, page 184 to page 214 of this book, Everything About Business Plan. It's here for you. In addition to that, we have given you some templates to some websites, and when you click on these links, they will take you to some kind of business plan templates that for you to understand and draft a business plan yourself. Now, having said that, one of the things that I want to actually talk to you about is that business plan, in its essence, is a communication tool. So all the components that you have written in the business plan will depend on who you are going to communicate to. Now, some of the communication audiences of the business plan could be for you yourself as a management team. You could be writing a business plan because of your customers. You can actually write a business plan to other stakeholders like investors. You can write a business plan to people who are your bankers. And so there are different audiences that come along when it comes to business plans. Who should write a business plan? That's another question that people ask. Now, oftentimes we advise that the entrepreneur himself should write a business plan. But of course, the entrepreneur can write the business plan with the aid of a consultant. So you have consultants that can help you in writing your business plan. But when dealing with consultants, you are not just supposed to tell them that, look, I need a business plan for a school and go to sleep. You need to constantly provide them with information. You need to constantly engage them. You need to let them understand where you are taking the business to so that they can do a very good business plan for you. So these are some of the real issues that we need to discuss when it comes to business planning. And in essence, the business plan really is a roadmap for the entrepreneur. The business plan helps you to execute whatever ideas that you are having. So I would encourage you that, look, when you are seeing a business plan, this particular process is a very tedious process. So many people prefer not to do a business plan. And because of that, you guys are going to be asked to write a business plan for some marks. So you form groups, and all those discussions will be on Sakai. Depending on the center that you are in, you are going to form groups, and you are going to create business plans, and you are going to submit those business plans by the 12th week. So you have from week, I think this should be week 7, all the way to week 12 to finish your business plan. I wish you all the best. If you have questions, you can post them on Sakai and they will be answered accordingly. Thank you very much for your time.